Welcome to another Know Your Recruit. We haven't done this in a while, but if we're going to kickstart this thing off, we're going to kick it off with a bang. And the only way to do that is to have a 5-star, right? So we have 5-star defensive lineman David Stone, Mr. OK Preps, even though he's at IMG, Mr. IMG, Mr. Everything, man. This dude is a world traveler when it comes to visits. This guy has been around, and he's also somebody I've known since he was, I think, 8th grade was the first
Yeah.
time I met you, man. So, yeah, this is a big one for us to start off with. David, appreciate you doing this, man. Let's dive into hobby. Everybody's like, oh, let's talk recruiting. Let's talk recruiting. Nope, that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about his hobbies. Y'all are gonna get to know the recruit, and that's why it's called Know Your Recruit. All right, David, you take a lot of visits, you do a lot of things with recruiting, you do a lot of things with football. You're always grinding, you're always training. But who is David Stone outside of football? What do you like to do?
Um, for starters, I like spending time with my family. That's like the number one thing for me. I spend a lot of time with my family, so it's just something that I'm very comfortable with. Like, if you ever see me somewhere, I'm probably with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's like my cousin, brother, sister, mom, dad, auntie, uncle, someone, like I'm always with a family member. And then another thing I love, like I'm like later, after we get done with this, of course, I'll be watching anime. That's something I do all the time. I was up till like 6 a.m. last night watching Demon Slayer, which is one of my favorites. So I mean, I'm just a big anime fan. I've been one since like elementary school, so it's just something that's always been me.
So, okay, my kids are not anime fans, but there's kids on our little league football team that are. And both my boys are like, man, it's super weird. They don't, because they don't understand it. Explain to people that don't understand it, what is anime and why is it so big? Because I even see adults like tweeting like anime gifs all the time, and I don't understand it.
For me, my biggest thing is like it's like an escape from reality, I guess you could
Mm.
say. I mean, it's not always so real, but it gives you like real emotion sometimes. So you still get that relating to, the show. And I know it's just like a very good source of entertainment, no matter what you watch. I mean, there's different types. And me personally, I watch everything. So I've been
Yeah.
watching, like, I have like the girl dramas to the love stories to action movies. I mean, I watch everything.
So they have like anime movies. That's a thing.
Yeah. So
What's your favorite anime movie?
my favorite movie would probably be JJK Zero. It came out, I think, sometime last year,
Mhm.
and I was using my sister to go watch it, and she's a big anime fan too. So me and her watched it together, and we always talk about it whenever I see her. It's like that was one of a big movie for us to watch. I even have my little brother with me, but I don't recommend kids watching that movie. It's a little bit scary.
I gotcha. So, okay, you talked about your sister, and everybody kind of knows you guys are close. Like you've made that abundantly clear to everybody, even in interviews. Like when I go home to Oklahoma City, I stay with my sister a ton. Everybody makes a big deal because it's so close to Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, because obviously she's a Sooner. But for you, talk about your relationship just outside of the location and all that type of stuff. That's irrelevant with this. What makes you and your sister, outside of just being siblings, so close?
Um, Man, I don't know. We honestly we used to fight a lot growing up. Like,
As they all do.
yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, like, man, the house would get tore up. But I mean, I'd say like after I turned 10 or 11, we just stopped fighting. I mean, we haven't really had a big argument since then, really. But I mean, we're like real close with each other. I mean, like I can count on her for anything, really. So I mean, she's more of a best friend to me than a
Mhm.
sister. That means a lot. I mean, I talk to her about everything. Like, if there's anyone who knows anything about me, it would be her, definitely.
So when you talk about obviously her being like a best friend to you and all that type of stuff, um, at what point Did or how what's the age difference between you guys first off?
Um, I think it's like four,
4 years.
not four, it's 3 years. So she was
Years.
'02, I was born in '05.
Okay.
But we've never been to school together, like in high school or middle school. We're always been like just close enough to be in school. But this year, if I do go to college at OU,
Yeah,
would
you
be
would be able to.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. That I'm sure that would be pretty cool for you guys. I mean, football aside, just going to school together and being able to live and hang with each other type of
yeah.
deal before she went off and became an adult and did adult things. Does she want to go like Matt? Does she want to get her master's or anything like that? Or like,
Uh,
because I've heard she is like just super smart from
yeah.
talking to
So
people,
I mean, if she,
particularly you.
she will. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully she does it.
Yeah.
You I feel like she could. She's
Yeah.
smart. So I mean,
Yeah.
if this happens, it happens. I can't speak
Yeah.
for her, but I feel like she would do it.
I gotcha. Let's talk about you guys were tweeting about on Twitter about, oh, this has been something that's been going on since we were little kids. When you talk about Xavier Robinson, when you talk about Caden Durham, when you talk about Mike Hill, Patterson McDonald, and obviously yourself, those relationships, they seem like super, super deep to the point where all of you guys went to Mike Hill's spring game. You particularly went like almost every time.
Yeah.
You know a lot of people on the Westmore team, obviously. You know a lot of people on the Southmore team, and so does Caden. But Xavier's a Mustang guy. Like he lives literally 100 feet from me, but he goes to Carl Albert because they did move to Carl Albert for a little bit. His dad, he stays with his dad and goes out there, but his mom lives literally 100 feet from me, and um, it's just kind of odd how you guys kind of became so tight knit. Can you kind of dive into that a little bit and how that relationship has stayed so close?
Um, Honestly, man, it's crazy because a lot of kids in Oklahoma I'm like really connected to.
Yeah, you
I
are.
don't know what it is. It's like I've noticed this myself, but every kid that's done something like very successful in sports in Oklahoma, I spent some time with them regardless of where it's at. So me and Xavier both went to the same middle school.
Okay.
We're on the same football team, so we both played running back together. And yeah, I was
That's some big dudes toting the rock, man.
it was crazy. So I mean, we were killing it, man. Like me and him, we go way back. That's my guy for sure. And me and Kale, man, I mean, we played little league ball together. So I mean, of course, we're on the same team. We used to kill it. Especially, and the crazy thing is, he played running back. Like he was an offensive player. He was good, explosive, everything. Like it was pretty
He's
fun.
like his daddy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Hilarious. Yeah.
Caden and I actually met Caden through Michael, and so with all of us meeting together, it's just been like we've known each other since we were like kids, man. So it's crazy. And when I went to the Westmore game, I mean, I talk to Kel pretty much all the time. So he calls me like every other day. I'm surprised he hasn't called me yet. So, I mean, he asked me to come. And so I think his dad came to pick me up from Dale City. So we
Mhm.
drove up to the game. And I mean, it was just fun seeing everyone there. There was a lot of people there, honestly, like a lot of
That's
people
awesome.
all over. And it was just, we had a good time. Everyone was laughing, joking around, watching ball, which we all enjoy to do.
Yeah. So you talk about your time during Little League and stuff like that. And I've seen your dad's posts, like his banner, and it's like North Texas Cowboy. I can't remember what do y'all call the North
Yeah.
Texas Cowboys, right? Or something like that. And I guess was that like a select team that you played for? Or like what's the story behind that?
So that was my last team I played with. I don't know how old I was, but our my first time playing with them was at the NT with them against some team. I'm not sure where they're from, but it was in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, the AT Stadium.
Mhm.
So when we went down there, my dad, my little brother at the time, he was probably like two, if that. I'm not sure because I remember he still had like his hair like this. So he was like, he had to be like one of these type of babies. So yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I don't know how originally we found out about the team, but man, I had a good time playing with them guys. It was a good ball, you know. But I never went to any practices, so I was just like, hey, they called me up, hey, you want to play? Okay, we come down and we
That's
play.
awesome.
Yeah.
Were there any big names like today that were on that team with you?
Um, I think Kale was on that team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Kale was on the team, and we played. I think we played one game together, and that was it. But I didn't play. I played with Kale on a different team, so
Yeah.
like this was like our last year playing little league ball. So it was kind of like spread out because everyone was deciding to like stop playing, and then it was weird. It was
Yeah.
fun. I made a lot of memories, especially when we went to Vegas. We played Vegas strong. That team was pretty good. I think we lost. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I was a kid, but it was fun.
Yeah. So, all right, people want to know this too about you. And I've explained it to people a little bit. I know that after your freshman year, I remember you hit me up. You're like, man, should I go to IMG? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, you need to talk to your parents about that one. And you remember that? So so I was like, hey, that's too much for me, man. But you decided to stay at Dell City at that point. And then after your sophomore year, you said, okay, I'm gonna go to IMG because I remember I was shocked when you text to tell me that, like, because I just because you hadn't brought it up in like a year, and then all of a sudden it was out of the blue, like, hey, I'm about to announce I'm going to IMG, and you that decision, like I said, was kind of shocking. But what came into that? And I know there's been always these rumors: he's coming back, he's not coming back, he's coming back, he's not coming back. But obviously, you're staying at IMG for now. What has that experience been like to you and for you? Like, do you think you're a better player going up against all that talent all the time? Do you think that's created the David Stone that's here today?
Um, I'd say like one thing for sure is that it wasn't my choice to go. Like I
Yeah.
didn't want my mom made me go, but I'm glad she did because I
Mhm.
got better. And you know, I feel like my playing ability would have always been like good because I was always going to work hard and you know prove myself that I was that guy. You know, I was always fighting for something. But you know, leaving did benefit me because it opened my eyes to things. You know, things
Mhm.
experiences that I wouldn't have got if I decided to stay.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me because I was able to, you know, learn so much off the field stuff that, you know, correlates on the field as well. And it really helped me out and with my game. And I feel like it took me to a, you know, a level that a lot of kids my age won't reach until they get into college.
Yeah.
It's something that I can benefit from. And a lot of college coaches, you know, they say the same thing, like, hey, you're way above, you know, everyone else as far as IQ. And I mean, like it's true because at IMG we study the ball so much. I mean, and we spend like every day learning something new, and it's crazy. Like I brought my notebook back with me because I was going to show Bates, you know, a few of the cut ups I have of everything and just all the notes I've been taking because man, I
Yeah.
learned.
That's really cool, man. Having said that, if you know, because you're such a family oriented guy, if you got the chance to come back, do you think you would like to do that your final year, or do you feel pretty content at IMG right now?
Um, my biggest concern with coming back would be, you know, the stipulations that are the rumors that people could say about me, like, hey,
Yeah.
he's running away from competition or things like that. And, you know, that was my mindset going into the spring was, hey, I want to have a good spring. So that way any other, you know, doubts about my playing ability could not be, left on the table. And I
Right.
feel like, you know, I made my a big statement, you know, Had 3 sacks that game, and I dominated the whole spring. I didn't lose a rep at one-on-ones during the whole spring at IMG. The coaches can vouch for that, and I mean, I just killed it. I feel like I did what I could do, and if I decided to leave, my only regret or anything I could say would be just, hey, I left so much on the table.
Mhm.
I feel like I became a better player, and I just wanted to see what I could do left my senior year there. But if I decide to come back, I know I would still, have the same production or even not, if more, at
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that you would break the all-time sack record in the state of Oklahoma?
I feel like it's a possibility because watching team camp, fall camp, everything, just watching everyone, play, I'm like, man, these O line was tiny compared to when I go against it.
Yeah. It's a
You
whole nother level, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like this would be fun, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get any better, coming back home.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, but it'll be pretty fun.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Um, I guess the only thing left for us to do here is just kind of finish up with a little bit of recruiting. Everybody wants to wait on that, and they're, what's David Stone going to do? All that type of stuff. But you have an official visit to Michigan State. It's your final official visit. Um, let's talk about Miami and Florida first. You live in Florida right now. Uh, obviously, you come back and forth, but IMG is in Central Florida. So it's easy for you to get to Florida. It's easy for you to get to the University of Miami, obviously, quite a bit. Talk about how those relationships have spurned and grown, and talk about just those two official visits, and how those things went.
Um, I think I went. Okay, I went to Florida first. So
Yep.
my Florida visit was it was pretty good. Wait, did I go to Florida first or Miami? I think it was it Florida
You went to Florida first. Right?
first?
Yeah, you
Okay,
were, because you were in Miami last weekend. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Florida was pretty fun. I got to hang out with a lot of my old teammates.
Yeah.
Will was there, Najee, those guys. I grew up with them. Well, not grew up, but I played ball with them the last
Mhm.
year, and I stayed with Will. Like that's my dude. Like anytime I feel like I can call him for anything. So
Mhm.
I just love seeing him again. We caught up on so many different things. And then Chris is someone from back home. So he was my host that weekend. He got to meet my family and we had a pretty good time. I mean, we went out, had fun, chilled at his house. His house is real nice. I didn't know you could get an NIL deal with apartments, and so he had one, and it was,
Yeah.
pretty nice crib.
Yeah. They do that. I think they do that. I know they do that at Oklahoma. I know they do that at Miami, and I think Florida. Yeah, I'm pretty positive Michigan State, Oregon, Texas, like all the schools you do. Like I've heard all those schools do all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's crazy though, right? Like you
Yeah.
get you get like NIL deals through apartments. It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
so
oh,
Miami, yeah,
okay. Miami was pretty chill. We had a good time. I didn't get to go to the beach. I wanted to, but I wanted to get in the water at least. I didn't get in the water, but we went to Coach Cristobal's house. I did. I saw my little kid, my little siblings, my little sisters, little brother. We both got in, and we had a good time at his house. But I wanted to go to the beach. With everyone just chill. A lot
mhm,
of the players, we had a good time. We got to talk. I think that was my first time meeting Colin. He's pretty funny.
yeah.
He's pretty funny.
You talking
And
about Colin Simmons?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone was. I guess we had a good time. Everyone was just real chill, and it was just good vibes all around the board, especially with the coaching staff. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite staffs. They're all
yeah.
like one big family, and so I really just got to enjoy my time with them.
Awesome. And then obviously this past weekend was Oklahoma. You came in on Wednesday, you came in on Thursday, and then you took your official on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How did all that go? I know when we talked, I think it was Thursday, you and I were sitting over there talking a little bit, and you were like, man, I'm just beat right now just because it's just been so much so fast. And even before we started recording here, you were like, dude, I just need a weekend to myself. I'm ready for the last weekend of June. So, um, how is that? How was that official visit? Like, what stood out to you on that? Because you've been there so many times. So, like, what actually stood out to you?
Um, man, I met a lot of people that weekend. So
Yeah.
the D line, everyone there, we hung out a lot. I was with them like most of the weekend. But leading up until then, it was just me and Kale on campus. We were really chilling, just relaxing with each other. And I'm with Kale all the time, so it was pretty good vibes, you know. But then later on, everyone just got to chill out, and then we learned a lot of stuff. Like we went to the meeting room, I guess you could say, and we did like a little film breakdown. You showed us a little bit of the plays, things like that, which was pretty cool. I liked it. A lot of the stuff they learn or they have, you know, the lingo is the same at IMG.
Mm.
So it was like an easy transition for me to really understand things. And then after that, I think we had a scavenger hunt. Yeah. My team was our cart was kind of slow. I feel like they sabotaged us a little bit. We had a, you know, pretty heavy dude on a slow cart. So like they got the DBs on the electric go karts,
Well,
you know.
that's just the weight, man. Y'all had all that weight on there, man. Y'all are big guys.
I'm like, man, come on, you guys got to give us like a, you know, something that's going fast, you know. But I feel like we would have did good because you know we're moving around pretty fast, you know, at
Yeah.
least in my opinion. But the cart was moving slow. But it was fun, you know. When we saw the O line move, you know, we had to let them know we were about business, you know. And I was still in one of their what's it called, their hints and hiding it somewhere in Coach V's office. And then I think Coach Bates or somebody took the shoes off one of them and hit it. I'm like, all right, but it was pretty fun. We got to chill out with each other. It was just all fun time, you know, the whole weekend.
Yeah. Did you said you met a lot of new people. Like what was some new people that you got to meet that you jive with at Oklahoma?
Zena, bro, he's funny, man. Like, I love him, man. That's my guy now. I got
Yeah.
his number, so I'll be texting him. Like, I've been texting him ever since the visit. You know, I'm gonna keep in contact with him. That's someone like I feel like I can talk to anytime now. Like,
Yeah.
we just had a great time that weekend. I mean, he's straight good vibes. Devon, I met him for the first time too that weekend. He's real chill. He's funny. Like,
You them Allen boys, huh?
yeah. It was
Yeah.
a good time, man. A lot of the guys I met, they were just real chill
Yeah.
and just fun time with them.
Was it the funnest Oklahoma visit you've been on by far?
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Gotcha. I guess lastly, you got Michigan State coming up. Can you talk about just obviously you've been really close with them. They've had some coaching changes. Obviously, Dyron Reynolds is now the D line coach there, but Mel Tucker's continued to be the head coach there. So that is consistent with everything that you know. And I know you and Coach Tucker are super tight. So what's that relationship like? And what are you looking forward to about this upcoming official to East Lansing?
Man, I just love East Lansing as a whole. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it honestly feels like a second home to me. So, I mean, I just really enjoy just being there, like as a whole. I mean, it's just a great place. But one thing I would say about Dyron, I mean, I feel like he's just so knowledgeable about the sport. And I mean, like, if there's anyone I feel like that, you know, that's as knowledgeable as anybody that could just stack up with any guy across the country, regardless of resume, would have to be him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very knowledgeable dude when it comes to, you know, football and the line as a whole.
I gotcha. Um, who I'm assuming By Job's going to be your host at Michigan State, right?
Man, okay, so I was talking to, you know,
Or is
some
it going to be Tuna Misi?
I don't know, man. They said everyone's been asking to host me, so I mean, I'm just ready to see who it is. They said they had like 4 or 5 different names come up, so
Gotcha.
whoever it is I know the whole team really, so it's
Yeah.
just whenever I'm there, it's just all good vibes.
Do you know like at Miami, Florida, Oklahoma? Do you know a lot of those guys too? Like as far as a team?
MSU is the team that I know the most. Like I
Yeah.
know everyone on the team. Like name, we're just chilling. Like I know everyone pretty much. And then
I gotcha.
honestly, second would probably be OU, and then third like Miami or Florida.
I gotcha. Uh, who hosted you at Oklahoma?
Um, it was okay. So I had three hosts like over the
Oh my
weekend.
God.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was, man, it was fun. I was like, okay, it is different. I'm used to having
Yeah.
one, so the three they're pretty cool. So first it was I had Sanders. He's a freshman. He came from California. No, was it
Yeah.
California?
Ashton. Yeah. East California. Yep.
Okay, yeah, actually, yeah. And then I had KG. He was
Mhm.
the other host. And then G Baby.
G
Yeah.
Baby is,
Let me think.
what's his name?
I was trying to think of his last name. He's the D lineman. He's from California too. They're both from California.
Oh, you talking about Haltom?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Yeah. I could see how that would mesh with you.
Yeah.
So I guess timeline for you. Do you still have that early August timeline, or like you just kind of whatever? Is it just how you feel? Like wake up one morning, be like, hey, I'm going to set up this interview with such and such to do a live commitment type deal. Like, how do you want to do that? Because you kind of fly by the seat of your pants sometimes, man. That's why I asked that.
Yeah, like man, I don't know. Like I feel like once I know. But
Yeah.
for me, I feel like that the number one thing, I just want to feel comfortable where I'm at, you know? I
Mm,
don't have like I feel like there's always going to be in my head like, hey, what if I, decide to go here? But I just want to
yeah.
know that I'm just, happy with my choice and that I don't have no other like regrets about it. I
No
mean, I
doubt.
think there's always going to be a little bit of doubt in your head, but I want to be happy like at least like the majority of where I'm at.
I got you. Um, the party in the palace in late July. Will you be back for that?
Uh, Coach Bates was asking me about it, but I'm probably not going to make it.
Gotcha.
I'll be back on campus at IMG the 20th. So
On what?
yeah, back
On
at
when?
IMG the 20th of July.
Oh, you'll be back on 20th of July. I got you. Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. Awesome, man. All right, dude. Well, told you. Easy peasy. Try to make it as fun as possible. Talk about your life. Then very like I think we only did like 5 minutes of recruiting, dude. Maybe 6 minutes. So there you go, man. Pretty easy.
It was pretty
Appreciate you
cool.
doing that, bro.
I appreciate it. No problem, man.
Yes, sir. All right, man. That's going to do it for this version of the first episode of Know Your Recruit for the 2024 class. For my man, 5-star defensive lineman David Stone, my name's Brandon Drumm. You guys have a blessed day.